name is Anthony Spencer. I'm a member of the Northern Arundel Cultural Preservation Society and the Maryland Commission on African American History and Culture. I'm here to tell you about Freetown. It's very important to me about this project. The passion I have for it is because my great-great-grandfather, James Spencer, founded this property. It started with what we call today Marley Creek. That first 56-acre tract of land was very narrow between Spencer and Howard Roads and worked its way over into this area of Freetown as we know it today. My great-great-grandfather, James Spencer, founded this land, but this enclave of a black community was the largest outside of Annapolis. And that was huge for that time period because slavery was still a factor. James Spencer and men from his Masons Lodge, the Good Templar Lodge, bought this land for Negro men and boys to be educated. A safe haven for freedom. So this sign commemorates those people who served, who sacrificed for the whole community, giving birth to children, educating them, making sure that every child in the community had an actual teacher, giving thanks for those who taught before, but giving the opportunity to have an actual teacher like all students. So it's a safe haven for the community, but it's also an example for what can be done when a community sticks together and works towards a common goal. They used the first Good Templars Lodge as a place of education for the community. The place existed until 1920, until its mysterious burning down. Between the years of 1920 and until Freetown was built, children were still educated. But they now had a teacher who they had requested back in about 1913, 1915 to have a certified teacher. That was very important to the community. And then from that point, the Rosenwald schools came in. Freetown was a hub for an awful lot of what we see today as an enclave. And we today are appreciative to the community, the Freetown Improvement Association, but also to the Good Templars Lodge of Masons. Just over my shoulder here is the original Freetown Rosenwald School. We know the significance of education, but the needs changed. And as the Rosenwald was developed, so were needs for education. After the community moved to the new Freetown School, maybe a half a mile from here, the building was still very important for the Community's Improvement Association. This school was made for education, but it was so much more to the community. During the era of Jim Crow, when desegregation came about, we still had to have a place where we could still come together to talk on faith-based, on the community, on the needs of a growing community. Where would we go from here for education? So the community was built on families that were here, farmers, domestics, those who became judges, educators. It served as a place to remind the community we have each other. And we didn't forget that. And the community didn't forget that. So the greater community can learn an awful lot from what Freetown has done over the years and sustained itself through this Improvement Association in education and families. Learning that your great-great-grandfather did something that was so unusual for the average person. He purchased land in 1845, a black man who was living free, born free, but in the midst of slavery. It means a lot to me to know that he started something with people who were also free, and it continued to grow. He built a community. Freetown is not just a place where people live, it's a home. It's a place where people have a society within a society, because they couldn't go outside of that society as the general public did. So for me, it's very personal to understand that. It's very personal because I'm part of that lineage. And I have a responsibility. That's what's so personal right now. I have a responsibility of not only maintaining that information, but also discovering and reporting other information about other communities that have like history. Anne Arundel County has a rich history, and we need to tell it all. As painful as it may be, We need to tell it all, chronologically, and set a record for our state, for our country, about how history should be told.